Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into your daily read for Saturday, May 13th, 2023. I, of course, want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading. But we're going to begin and pull from the Flowers of the Night Oracle deck, and then we'll see which tarot deck I feel guided to use. But let's do some initial shuffling. In the first attempt to get the reading done, the Passion card did come out. So I feel like naturally there's going to be a focus on your passion, some of which might be dealing with certain emotions and or I got the word sorrow in the first attempt popping up at certain points throughout the day or one big chunk, but it won't weigh you down in the end. I do feel like there's a lot throughout this day that reminds you what you've been through and what you're going through, but Spirit's saying there's a feeling of you being ready to move on to a new situation or ready to acquire something new, ready to achieve something different or more for yourself. But I do feel as if there's a push to remember or ask yourself, is it the right time? For some, yes. For the majority drawn to the reading, no. But there's a reason why you're feeling or being pushed to recognize that you are beyond ready or just ready in general well ahead of time, all right? There's a feeling that this is part of the preparation process. But we have two that came out, creation and wisdom. There's a focus on what you create throughout this day. They're saying even the creation of certain conversation, bonding moments, reminiscing moments, your helpful nature coming into play, getting your voice out there in one if not multiple ways, one if not multiple important key points throughout this day. I do feel like there's a focus on certain imperfections in your world throughout this day in one if not multiple situations. And I do feel like this is highlighting why you're feeling ready to shift forward, right? Make a change or succeed more so you can make certain changes and have more control, feel more so that certain things that you do desire or decide to switch up or acquire, make happen moving forward, feel more doable. Does that make sense? That felt very wordy, but I'm being spoken through per usual. There's a focus on your achievements, all right? And I do feel like there's more than one achievement up until this point along your individual path that you seem to forget or you don't give enough credit towards yourself for because you're so focused on more achievement, more success, right? Feeling hungry, feeling very focused on one if not multiple goals, wanting your future to look brighter than your current day situation and your past. Fair enough. That is absolutely commendable. And Spirit's saying don't change that. But all the meanwhile, intertwined in that motivated, they're saying conquering sort of vibe and view on your future and your current day situation and how those intertwine, we need you to be grateful for and remember certain achievements because you've come a long way. All right. Let's move on to look at that. Yeah, your devotion. Okay, to your higher self, to your emotional self, to your well-being is taking a highlight. But I feel like putting your emotions behind this card, very interesting. There's a lot of emotion backing you up, whether it's other people's because you're empathic and or your own emotions. When it comes to a devotion that you have towards a business, a project, a job, a hobby, something of the sort, a goal, if not multiple. But it reminds me of these readings and how much emotion can be wrapped up in one, what's meant to be a simplistic reading, but just ends up being very powerful and intense and helpful all the meanwhile and on point. And so you need to remember that you're good at what you do for a reason, and there's more skill sets and talents and more devotions to be implemented, and acquired moving forward. I just feel like your awareness is also taking a highlight. You being very aware of your surroundings, your individual mannerisms, habits, what's coming out of your mouth, even if you're spoken through. Being very aware of how people are feeling throughout this day. Let's continue and pull some tarot. There's a lot for the oracle. We're going to just stick with the light seers. It's my main tarot. I'm hearing very personable, for Saturday to continue. Okay, flopping out, we have the Sun card and the Seven of Cups. There's thoughts of past completion and future completion, and I do feel like in the midst of being reminded of certain achievements from the past, there might be a sprinkling of random reminding through your mind certain occurrences, content even, of what completed and made you happier. But I do feel like in regards to what you wish to acquire to begin to embark upon. They're saying leap into, like the Fool card. There's a lot of options for you. So don't stress it, okay? Do not stress it. Because I feel like all the meanwhile, it's this reminder that you have a lot ahead for you in such a colorful way. Success, achievements, when it comes to new beginnings, even endings, right? Needing to be viewed as a positive thing, especially when you choose to make that happen in a very courageous, realistic, honest way. But I just feel like you're going to be reminded there's so many options, okay? But I do feel like in a separate manner, in a separate way for the Seven of Cups, there's a lot that you're trying to manage, to deal with, to accomplish throughout this day. That could be emotional, that could be mentally, that could be task-wise, accomplishments once again. It could be when it comes to dealing with certain factors like noise and whatnot. But I do feel like you have what it takes to cope, to deal, to manage, to overcome and achieve throughout this day. So don't fret and don't let things get you down. There's going to be one, if not multiple moments where, as you can see, I just scratched my head, feeling a little bit perplexed. Time might scroll by. Okay, interesting. That I feel like was purposeful. Time might crawl by throughout this day, feeling like it's a day where things aren't moving quickly. If you feel like the recent days have, as my voice cracked a little bit, the recent days went by quite quickly or just faster than normal, it's not going to feel like that throughout this Saturday. It's going to feel like a very slow day, even if you're speaking quickly, achieving quickly, or you might not be, it might feel that way. Or even if it feels like you have a lot going on, okay? But the Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Eight of Cups, talking about how there's a focus on you doing what's right for you, regardless of what people think, regardless of what people have to say, or have said in the past. Needing to discard one, if not multiple people of importance in your life, not altogether. I'm not saying that. They're what you would expect them to think or to say, or what they have said. This is not going to, in Spirit's eyes, we're not allowing this to prevent you from making an important choice for yourself by trusting your intuition. Because if you think about it previously and up until this point, you have trusted your intuition at certain points. Sure, we're only human. Even myself, I've ignored my intuition at certain points. You might not even have realized you did, and this did not work out in your favor. But there have been multiple times, I guarantee, where you trusted your intuition, did what you felt was right for you and potentially your loved ones. And how well did that work out for you? Sure, it might have been a stepping stone, but it worked out well, didn't it? And so I feel like this is a day where you're being noticed for somebody who might feel a bit alone at times, might just accept endings and end up feeling a bit to yourself and just in your hermit mode, but you're being reminded you're always connected to spirit, all right, for the better and for the worse. But I do feel like for the better, as far as diminishing that lonely feeling at times, but being noticed for somebody who will always step away from what doesn't feel right, or is now willing to do that to better their life moving forward. That's powerful, all right? And so I feel like this is a day where you're being reminded of the power that lies within it in certain ways. I mean, we did talk about, reclaiming your power in the previous Friday daily read. Restoring your inner strength is what I'm hearing, all right? Now, however that comes through for you, that could be through self-care, certain reminders, clearing your mind, healing from certain emotions. It could be from certain conversations, I want to say. And some, I feel like you're restoring your inner strength by better understanding what you went through or what you're going through, and through your work, okay? Or some sort of creation, some sort of hobby maybe. You might just have to catch your breath at a certain point throughout this day. 857, look up the ancient number meaning. 857. Now, I do feel like there's a lack of celebration at a certain point, if not the day as a whole, throughout the day as a whole, because you can't move towards something yet, right? But I do feel like Spirit's saying when this does turn in the upright and you can celebrate, the movement towards whatever this is symbolizing for you, representing for you, you're going to feel so gratified and recognize and remember, even if it's a little bit later down the line after you charge towards whatever it is for you, that delay, that space between was purposeful, okay? Even that pause for some. But I do feel like all the meanwhile, there's more to be wrapped up with, acknowledged, noticed, and remembered throughout this day than it means more at this point along your path than being able to charge forth, okay? Everything comes to be once again when it's meant to. What else do we have? The Eight of Pentacles in the Ten of Cups. Working towards a dream for you, I want to say. Working towards your happiness. Working towards where you feel you're meant to be, right? This ultimate success, the epitome of how you see your future. I feel like that was bad wording, but it might have been correct. Who do you see yourself with? You might not have that vision yet, but I feel like there's part of your future you have been imagining, and Spirit saying you are on point. As long as you're trusting your intuition and feeling in your gut that that's going to be right for you, you will not lead yourself in the wrong direction. Sure, there might be a switch up in your adjustment, your perspective, your desires and needs along the way, but that's life, right? That's your path. And Spirit saying this will help you grow all the meanwhile. But there's a focus on the fact that when you get to this point of true happiness, true fulfillment, and things feeling more ideal for you, you'll look back, as you at times have been now at past situations, and think, wow, that was purposeful. Wow, I was meant to be there then, and I'm meant to be here now. All right? So I hope this was truly helpful. I'm sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your Saturday, and I'll see you next time.